Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Just Gaming Today. Today we're going to play How Many Dudes for the third time. I thought this would be a kind of a shorter video, but we've had to break it into three parts because we're doing pretty well. We are in round 101. From what I saw in the end of the last video, we got to level 100. Now it seems to be like we're fighting the bosses all the time. At least this is the second round of bosses. So I'm thinking that's how it's going to go, and should get progressively harder. We do have a good run going here. Let me continue here and then kind of the only thing I regret here is taking the paladins. I'm not saying paladins are bad, but in this mix, they don't seem to be doing a whole lot. The ghosts and the clerics and Franken dudes and the necro dudes all pair really, really well together. So I'm liking that. Liking that quite a bit. Let's see here. So we have $708. We're on round 101. And as you see, we don't get a selection between these two. We're fighting 13 unicorns and 294 honey badgers, whether we like it or not. And then we're in swampy ground, so all dudes have 50% reduced run speed. So I think this is where we start fighting, the more very tough fights. 13 unicorns seems like quite the battle. I do have a lot of relics. We are pretty prepped for this. So we don't have any real things to do here other than kind of revive 5 dudes at a time if we really, really have to with the dude juice. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. With the unicorns, when this animal drops below 30%, the animal will panic and run around, trampling any dude in its path. We've seen this from all the different horses. Then the honey badgers can just ignore taunt. So let's fight this and see how it goes. Not really a lot I can do here to help. It does seem like, the Franken dudes are kind of making it. Looks like they're dying and then coming back. So I think they're eating the Skeledudes. So the Skeledudes, you see this number going up, 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 up. That is only making my Franken dudes much, much tougher. So this battle's going fairly well, even though it's going slow. They're taking out the honey badgers first, it looks like. Got 6 of those left. Looks like this Franken dude is down here fighting the rest of the honey badgers with that Skeledude. Maybe I can transfer some of these guys over here and hopefully kill this last of the badgers off. Okay, so the badgers are all dead. Wow, so far nobody has died. We haven't lost a dude yet, and I think it's because of these Skeledudes. So the Skeledudes at this level, we have over 100 that are dead at this point, or at least unconscious. I mean, they're basically dead. We did lose 1 necro dude. Wow, I expect to lose a lot more than that. In the beginning, it's kind of dicey, as you saw with the Franken dudes. They're kind of almost there dying, but then they come back because of those Skeledudes and the way that we have our relics set up. Let's take a necro dude. Just creating more Skeledudes is a good thing for this group. And I think I'm right here. So round 102 again. So we are toxic gas. So now we're fighting another boss round. We don't get a selection. So 54 big bees and 1,000 bees. These things are scary as heck. They are very, very tough. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. And 1,000 bees right off the bat with no ability to, do anything. I mean, I can't do anything here. I don't think I can re-roll this either. Yeah, so we're just fighting this. Let's see how it goes. Not really anything I can do to impact it. There is a lot going on. We've already lost 3 paladins. I'm fine losing the paladins. I really don't care. And then we've lost 2 ghosts, and we've lost some necro dudes at this point. So not terrible. I can certainly revive them after the fight. So we have all the bees gone, and we're slowly working on the big bees. These big bees are what scared me. Just that mass of bees is really tough to kind of chew through. But overall, not too bad. We've got a bunch of clerics down now, and some necro dudes, but nothing our dude juices won't handle. We've got 27 dude juices, so not too afraid of that. All right, that went pretty well. Claim our reward. I'm going to get another necro dude here. And then now we have over 10 down. And, with 7 down, I am going to go and bring them back. These are the big fights. So I do kind of want a full complement if I can. I'm not going to stress over having like less than 5 down probably. All right, so we have 1711. We're at 505. So 57 horse-sized ducks. They have the flapping wings that kind of throw people. I think that's going to be pretty tough. because just having my guys being thrown around might negate their ability to do things. So 580 Canada Goose. Woo! Dude healing effects are reduced by 25%. I think this might be a very bad round for us, but we shall see. Again, I can't really do much of anything. So I hope the Franken dudes hang on. I don't care if we lose paladins. We already lost one paladin. I'm okay with that. Ooh, 2 Franken dudes down. Ooh, I don't like this. Yeah, that's good. Hopefully get some more Skeleton dudes dead and pump this number up so we stop our Franken dudes from coming down. Looks like we're maybe stabilizing. We're getting the geese down, so that's good. Yeah, I'm wondering, I don't want to panic and just use the dude juices. I'd rather use them outside of this combat because then I get 10 guys back for 1 dude juice. Yeah, it looks like we've kind of stabilized here. So 1 more goose to go, and then we're on the big geese. So I think we're okay. So what I'm hoping too with this game is that they do like a 2 times combat here. Right now you can just go slower and regular. For a demo, I'm not going to complain at all. I think it's a pre-alpha demo, so this is a very solid game. I've seen no crashes yet. Not saying it won't happen, but I haven't seen anything that really, would I could complain about. Let's see. Okay, so let's grab another Necro dude. I just want more Skeletons, more Skeletons. So here we have all dudes have 50% reduced run speed again, and the 14 unicorns. And now our nemesis in this run has been these rams and goats. So hopefully we can fix that. So with 2 dudes, I'll leave those 2 dudes down. It looks like they're both Franken dudes. Yeah, let's fight. That's a sea of blue creatures right there. Yeah, these rams, they kicked our butts. The rams and goats kicked our butts really, really early on. So been like a theme has been to avoid the goats and the rams. You do see here, I mean, look at this. We're into this pretty far, and we're still haven't killed off quite a bit. Now it's going down, but it took a little while to get that ball rolling here. We've lost a few Franken dudes and a few paladins, but overall, 1 Necro dude. I think we've only lost 1 Franken dude because we had 2 that we didn't revive. And also from what I've seen, if we do let some of these revives linger, these dudes do like kind of wake up by themselves over time. So it's not too bad to let some linger. Looks like we've stalled here a little bit with these horses. The unicorns and the horses and the stallions, they're really tough because when they gallop around, they knock you down and kind of delete your DPS for a little while. But we're slowly working through this. So I do kind of like that transition at level 100. It is a significant number for humans. 100. It's a big deal. So at level 100, you do your boss rounds, and then after that, you just seem to be doing boss rounds each time. I'm going to take another Franken dude. They're kind of my powerhouses in this run. So we do have a merchant. We have really flush with cash. So I am going to buy a dude juice. I'm going to buy a bottle of lightning so I can do something. Heart boxers. Each time the merchant dude's shop gets stocked, there's 25% chance he gets charmed into letting you restock the shop for free. I mean, eventually we'll probably buy that. I think we're going to run out of relics potentially here. Consumables used during battle have a 30% chance to not be consumed. I've been offered this a number of times, so let's go ahead and buy it. I mean, it's not a terrible item. I am going to skip the heart boxers for now. Let's restock, see what we got. I am going to buy a dude juice because we have enough money to buy both of these if we need. So Book of Life. The Paladin dude receives 10% more healing from all sources. In addition, if a Paladin dude takes damage through his blessing, that reduces HP to 0, he heals himself to full health. Now, I only have 5 paladins, but that seems like a very powerful item. Now, the padded helmet also is very good because we're going to experience monsters that or animals that are throwing us here. So when dudes get thrown, he gains 100% run speed, 30% jack speed, and temp health equal to 10% of his max HP for 4 seconds. This would pair very well with the Franken dudes who pump their HP up for each unconscious dude. So I think we're going to buy both of these. I almost clicked on dismiss again. I wish they would move the dismiss like up here or something and have a buy here, but I'm kind of pre-programmed with other games to just click here because I've done it several times. So here the restock fee is 25. I'm going to skip it and restock and buy again. And then we have a meteor for 50. Sure. So we're down on money at this point, but that's okay. Let's dismiss. Dude healing effects are reduced and 16 polar bears. I don't think that's going to be terrible. We seem to be able to fight the polar bears okay. We're going to use the dude juice and get the 9 back. Let's fight. We haven't fought this many polar bears, so maybe it's going to go poorly. But it seems okay at the moment. We are losing necro dudes, which I'm not too afraid of. We still haven't killed a single polar bear, so I'm a little not happy with that. I need to just finish some of them off. Or let's do a meteor. It seems like we got a lot of polar bears we can hit with one meteor. We are in these boss fights, so there's a lot of necro dudes dying, but we already have a stock of almost 200 skeledudes that are just sitting here unconscious. So I think we're okay. It's just we're gonna have to use the dude juice after this to get these guys back. The Franken dudes are probably just such massive HP at this point. Yeah, so let's see our damage. Let's figure out what's going on. Our Franken dudes are definitely our powerhouses from what you see here. 264k damage. They even heal themselves when they eat stuff. 60k damage prevented, 96% or 96k taken. So really these are the powerhouses of this group. The ghost dudes are still pumping out a fair amount of damage. Good damage here. There's not enough paladins to really register anything. The skeledudes are doing some work, but they're mostly just dying. Which is what we want, Clerk dudes at 50k, our Franken dudes are healing themselves more because when they die, they eat a skeledude and heal up a good amount. So I think that's why they have 90k here, but this is definitely quite a lot. So let's claim the reward. Of course, let's get another Franken dude. Anytime we're offered a Franken dude at this point, I think that's what we're taking. 10 and 8, we'll use 2. 9 alpha wolves, 310 wolves, let's fight. Looks pretty good so far. I think the Franken dudes are dying and, a couple of them are dying and then they come back after eating a skeledude. So that loop is very, very effective, it looks like. I'm not sure what's going to take this party out. It seems like we're kind of unbeatable. So at one, if I get up to like round, I don't know, 125 or 150, I think I'm just going to have to call it a day. Because it's going on. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if something changes. Like I'd like to see new animals, but it's such an early demo. I don't know that there's more animals out there for the game to use. And it seems like the numbers of animals are not enough to take this out. Obviously that was over 400 pretty elite, animals here, and they really didn't do much. So here the Franken dudes are almost 365k. I mean, or 356k. It's a lot. Cleric dude, necro dude. Let's grab a cleric dude. We haven't grabbed one of them in a while. Only 3 guys went down, so toxic gas. This is funny that there's 1 toddler. So 1 toddler, 27 silverback gorillas, and 61 gorillas. Now we haven't had this kind of fight where we've had over 80. That's what 85 gorillas and a toddler. Dudes take, and this it always scares me a little bit, but it seems like we do heal very, very well. So let's give this a go. Looks like the toddler died pretty quickly. No surprise there. Now let's see when our first gorilla dies, because so far, they knock dudes down. So we got 1 down. They knock dudes down, which eliminate their ability to do something. So I think this is the type of a danger group that might be able to take something like this out. We are losing some necro dudes up here. Lost a few clerics, lost a few paladins, but only 2 Franken dudes. So I think, now you see just the overwhelming force of the Franken dudes at this point with 160, unconscious dudes sitting down on the ground. They get so powerful. Yeah. And that's probably, by intent, but you have to kind of get this group together. So it's not guaranteed that you're going to get something like that. So we take a Frankendude again. We do have over 10 gone, so I'll keep 5 unconscious. 73 big bees should not be a problem, but I don't know. We'll see. We fought like 50 of them with 1,000 bees, and it was not an issue at all. It took a while to get to that point where we hit the point where we were rolling. Um, but again, here you see the Skeledudes stacking up over here. So you've got, almost 100 of them. When we get to 130, there's 100 of them just laying on the ground. At that point, the Frankendudes are just really, really powerful. So we passed the 100 mark. We've only killed 2 bees, but we should start seeing this kind of snowball at this point. So I think the Frankendudes get to a point where they're just probably taking a bee out with every swing. That seems to be the case. We'll definitely have to use a dude juice after this, but as long as we don't have to use, more than dude juices a fight, I think, we'll get to the next shop and be able to restock. So here I'm going to get another Necrodude, just more and more Skeledudes, more and more Necrodudes. So I didn't have to use 2 there and 7 here. I'm going to use that. So use 3. We're down to 20. We've saved up a bunch. We don't see the little radar anymore, so we don't know what's coming. Here we've kind of fought this, but I think we fought it with 13 and 500 and something. Your dudes start apart. That's kind of bad, but let's see how this goes. Yeah, see how far out they are? So you have to kind of run in, and it gives the animals a chance to kind of bum rush a few people. But we seem to be doing okay. I really can only affect the game through this bottled lightning and raising some dudes, but I don't really think it's going to be effective. I think the bottled lightning is probably not very effective at this point. I mean, 11,900 damage probably isn't going to do much. It does seem like we're snowballing the geese at this point. Probably, the Frankendudes are killing them with every hit. I wonder if there's something special at round 110. These significant 10s and 100s and 50s and stuff like that. Unicorns are dropping. I don't see us having any issues here at this point. We've fought this battle before, so it just was a little bit less of each of the animals. Yeah, I think we could take on 50 unicorns and 2,000 geese at this point. And, might take significant losses, but I think this group could probably take that. Necrodude, Cleric Dude. Let's grab another Cleric Dude, kind of keep half the Clerics of our Necrodudes. So at 110, we do get a shop. I'm taking the Meteor mostly for knocking down. So Organ Donor List. When a Frankendude is knocked out, he heals all active dudes by 300% of his max HP, evenly split among them. Any overhealing is converted to temporary health. That is outrageously good for us. So Jazz Flute, when a dude evades an attack, he gains 10% increased crit chance for 2 seconds. I think we're just going to buy that too. So let's restock. Let's buy a dude juice. That still allows us to buy an artifact. And I'm not going to bother with the healing potion. Now, the golden shield is a paladin shield. When paladin dudes gain 30% increased HP and can bless 2 additional dudes. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Paladins have. So 30% get about 260. I mean, it's not terrible. So let's just get it. I mean, there's no harm, I guess. We only have 5 of them, so that's why I'm hedging there. Restocking won't do anything for me. Let's dismiss. We have 7 guys down. Let's fight with the 7 guys down. We've got 17 polar bears and 13 gorillas. Well, 4 of our guys are Frankendudes, so I don't know. You kind of fight. You start with 7 guys. These guys are pumped up right from the start. So let's try it. Worst case, we lose. I don't know. It seems like things are going very well. Look at these ghosts with their temporary hit points. They just jam in here. I think when they become ethereal, they get so many temporary hit points that they just have these massive purple lines here. Now we had 4 Frankendudes down. Looks like we haven't lost a single Frankendude. So once you get up to this plus 100, I don't know that they're really going to be able to kill Frankendudes. Now they're obviously able to kill these guys. They're cranking through these. So I'm a little worried here. But I don't think they can possibly kill all these Frankendudes. But I could be wrong. I mean, the gorillas are almost done, and we'll take these polar bears out pretty quickly. I think after these gorillas are done. I think on this particular fight, nothing's dying in like 1 hit yet. So you see the Frankendudes are definitely hitting these polar bears and they are not dying. We still have a gorilla left too. So this is a very, very tough fight compared to the ones we've been offered up so far. We're going to win, but that's a lot of dudes to see drop. So I'm going to have to use quite a few dude juices. And I'm prepped for that because I have a lot of dude juices. 10, 20, 30, 40. So 44, so about 40 guys. I think we had about 7 guys down before. So about 37 dudes. And that's a lot. That's the most that have gone down. We'll see how this works. So here we've got 33 unicorns, 202. Dude healings are 25%. So let's go. We don't have any options. So I think here in the beginning, maybe we can just use this to kind of get some dudes kind of unconscious or out for a little bit. Kind of just disrupt what's going on. It's not really doing anything. I mean, I could use both of these lightning bottles and I don't think it's going to help. Just so many things are out there. So we haven't killed a single animal yet. So, but this is kind of how it goes. You start to see the 1 go down and then 2, and then it starts to, the ticker starts to move a lot faster. So here these alpha wolves are quite, they got a lot of hit points. They are going down, so that's good, but we're losing some necrodudes again. Now we're starting to see the tally move on these alpha wolves. So I think they're getting, the cleaves and the things that are happening there. We've got over 250 Skeledudes on the ground. I think this might be the most Skeledudes I've seen. 300 Skeledudes on the ground. Our Frankendudes are just getting huge. So alpha wolves are almost done. Now we start working on the unicorns. There's 2 unicorns already down. I don't think we're in danger here. Yeah, I think we're just fine. I'm not sure what can overwhelm these Frankendudes, I wasn't expecting this run to go this well. So maybe we broke the demo. I don't know. Yeah, over 1 million damage from the Frankendudes. You definitely have to pump out some damage at this point. They're definitely tanking damage too. So they're really doing almost all the work. I mean, these guys are helping them in generating the Skeledudes. The Clarks are just doing some healing along the way, but they're still doing damage too, but not as much. So definitely Frankendude. Just anytime I can pick up Frankendudes, that's the way I'm going to go. So we'll leave 2 dudes down. The 2 dudes are a ghost dude and a paladin. Don't care. 158 Bs. All dudes have reduced run speed. I don't think this is going to be a challenge. Yeah, again, losing necrodudes, it's going to happen. But 158 Bs, we haven't killed a single bee yet, so a little nervous. Maybe I use a bottled lightning here. I don't know that it's going to do much. Yeah, it didn't kill a single bee, but it did cause some damage. That's a lot of dudes going down here. I'm going to use another bottled lightning, see if we can take out some bees. And you see it did nothing. So at this point, I don't know that I have any real ability to impact the game all that much. I'm just going to use another bottled lightning and see what it does. Yeah, nothing. Just maybe killed 1 or helped assist in killing 1. So here we're definitely piling on the losses. Now the Frankendudes don't care. The Frankendudes are actually using that to fuel them. Yeah, so I think this is where it's going to start to get us, where if we're going to lose this many dudes in a round, the dude juice is going to go way down. I mean, I started this one at level 100, I think at 27. I'm down to 16. I have been restocking. I think the next merchant, if we get to one, I think that merchant we're going to have to just ignore the relics and buy as many dude juices as we can to extend the run, would be my guess. Frankendude. And let's go here and here and here. That's 30. So let's fight. So a ton of silverback gorillas. And these wolves really caused us some issues last time too. There were so many of these wolves. I think they have a lot of hit points. And I'm not sure if these hit points and on these animals scale as we go up in these levels. Like around 113 silverback, I don't know if it's the same silverback that we see in the round 43. So it might have a lot more hit points. It might do more damage. I'm not really sure. There's definitely more of them. Yeah, early on you see one silverback and you're like, yikes. But now you can see, you know, there's 59 of them, and yeah, we're working it, but getting a lot of necro dudes and a lot of cleric dudes down. Franken dudes don't seem to care too much. We got 4 of them down. You see the perspective on the game changes a little bit. I don't really think I can't move it around. I can't see if I can use the arrow keys now. So that's kind of stuck with the perspective it gives you. It does change as the Franken dudes seem to get bigger and bigger and bigger as more dudes are on the ground. And you see they're getting slightly bigger each time. Quite a lot of dudes knocked out, just the skeleton dudes. And we haven't gotten to the point where we've had do we have over 400 in that one? I'm not sure. A bunch of dudes over here running. I mean, this one did take out a lot of dudes, so dude juices are going to be used. So here another 1.2 million, took 747K. The other dudes are kind of there, I guess. The paladins seem, like they're hanging. The clerics seem to be dying okay. I really like a different dude selection here, but let's grab one more paladin. We have bought a fair bit of paladin relics at this point. Probably not the wisest decision, but I don't know. Let's see. They're surviving, so that's kind of cool. All right, so we had 1, 2, 3, so 36 dudes are down. We'll leave these 6 dudes down. Wow, this looks like a lot. Maybe I am going to use the dude juice here because that is a lot of stuff coming at us. So around 114 looks bad. Also, enemies have 25% chance to ignore taunts. So we're fighting over 1,000 geese, 57 silverbacks, and 50 horse-sized ducks. This is probably the round we get done in. Let's fight. Holy crud. There's a lot of stuff on the screen. I think to do something here, if you had interactive things, you would have to kind of go down to the 0.25 speed. You do see my Franken dudes are dying. So I'm thinking this might be the level where we don't make it. Let's go ahead while we still have all these monsters here. Let's revive some of the dudes. I think I'm going to have to do this. I mean, half of my Franken dudes are almost gone. Those are my guys. If I'm going to make it, I got to keep some of them alive. My clerics are almost gone. My paladins are dead. My ghosts seem okay, but the Franken dudes, not good. So let's use another dude juice. Yeah, this is definitely the level where the mass of animals is just too much for us. Choose some more dude juices. I think I'm going to crank them and just see if I can make it. I think 115 will probably be the merchant's shop. Also, you see it's ineffective with my Skeledudes. So you see my Skeledudes are not being generated anymore because I barely have any Necrodudes left. And then I've got, a few more of these dude juices left, and I think we're pretty much out of it. So we only got halfway through the geese. That was just such a massive amount of geese there. So I asked what could kill this group. This is definitely likely going to be it. I'm using these now because if we can get through these geese, we might be able to power through the rest of it with the Franken dudes, but it is looking suspicious. We only have one cleric left. I think when the Necro dudes are gone, it's going to be rough to kind of continue. We are killing a few of the large geese, but barely any silverbacks. So I have no way to interact with the game at this point. So it's just up to the dudes I have left, and it doesn't look too promising. We only have 4 Skeledudes left too, and that's really what drives the ability of the Franken dudes to survive. So with no Skeledudes left, my Franken dudes are going to start eating my other dudes, and that's not good. So that's going to be a death spiral for us. Once that last Necro dude dies, there's no Skeledudes around for any Franken dudes to do anything with. And I can't move anybody around. I can't heal them. 300 geese up here going to go after. Yeah, this group here is yikes. Look at all those geese are just like, oh, just these huge groups of geese. I mean, we're hanging. I mean, this is pretty good for, how many things we were fighting. But I think as this group over to the right here, as they move around and kill off a Franken dude at a time, they're just going to move from one dude to another and just start taking things out. Um, It'd be interesting to see if we can kill any of these groups. So we've still got 180 geese and the 9 of the big geese. I don't think we're going to make it. Everybody's dead except for these last Franken dudes. Now these Franken dudes are pretty pumped up. We're over 400 unconscious guys, but there's just so many things left. I don't think they can tank it. I'm surprised that I guess we're still cleaving. We're probably cleave killing some of the geese here at the end. All right, we're down to 2 Franken dudes. Don't this. We got 1 Franken dude left. Here's the end. Oh, well, it was a pretty good run. Round 114. I'm pretty happy with that. It looks like he's still alive. He's trying to, I was pretty sure he was just gonna, is he coming back again? No, he's dead. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm very, very happy with this run. This is quite a cool build. I think one thing that really would have helped us a little bit is instead of the paladins, if we could have managed to grab the zombies, I think the zombies just being able to kind of come back to life after a round might have helped a little bit. I'm not sure what can get past this particular group of animals. We did okay. I mean, we got almost all the geese dead, and randomly taking out the horse-sized ducks. That's pretty impressive because typically these larger creatures don't tend to die until almost almost all these guys are gone. But I did see the Canada geese tended to huddle together after a while, and they had like 3 large groups of geese, and then they kind of coalesced into one large group as they kept killing the fringe Franken dudes. Very, very, very happy with this. You see the Franken dudes just took 2 million damage. They just are super, super good at staying around. They definitely have some ability to both tank and deal out damage. They are super powerful. That's probably intended, and there are probably other dudes that are like this if you get them in a certain set of other dudes around. The Skeleton dudes, we produced quite a bit of them here, 411 overall. I really enjoyed that. So view collectibles. So we opened up a number of collectibles. That's pretty cool. So gold stars, I'm not sure. Let's see what these do. So discovered dudes and relics by acquiring them during a run. So we have 84 more things to do there. Earn silver stars for relics by beating round 100 with them, and for dudes by beating around 100 with at least 20 on your team. Okay, so we did that. Gold stars. Earn gold stars on relics by beating round 110 with them, and for dudes by beating round 110 with them at least 20 on your team. So, okay, so this adds some ideas behind the developers here. They're really looking for you for round 100 to be a big challenge and you get the silver stars. And then round 110 is definitely a challenge. And then after that, anything else you're doing is probably beyond the scope of where they want you to be able to get by, and that makes sense because at some point it has to get very, 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 very difficult. And it did. So round 114 was our death knell. I'm not sure that these stars improve the items. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe they do. So I'm going to hit, I think let's go again because it takes us here where we can get back to the main menu. So that was how many dudes. It is quite a good little game here. Again, it's a pre-alpha demo. It's free right now, so pick it up, give it a shot. I like it. I think it's got a lot of ways it can go. I'd really like to see a lot more animals, a lot more diversity, and the dudes. It's kind of unlimited. You can do a lot of different dudes. You can do a lot of different animals. And, keep playing off of that meme. The meme is how many dudes take a gorilla. So I think this is kind of appropriate to have this going on the main screen here. So anyways, give it a shot. Like, subscribe, dislike, leave a comment. Let me know what I'm doing good or bad. And I'll try and fix it or make it better. So I did just post an outhold video as well. So got through level 8 on that. So with the time trials and the build trials. So if you're wondering how to get through those, I was successful in that. Then we'll keep running with outhold. I'm liking that a lot. And I'll look for more demos that I find appealing and run through those too. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.